Hello and welcome to Physics 101. This is Robert Austin, your facilitator for this course. And I'm making this recording to help you avoid some sources of confusion that you might encounter during your first week. So I hope you spend the uh, up to 15 minutes that I've allotted for this recording to familiarize yourself with the course. First thing to look at, well, you see here from the banner, we're in week 1. Okay, so I try to update those banners each week just to remind you and me what week we're in. I have trouble myself keeping track of that. So let's look at the course syllabus first. Now, I'm really not saying anything about most of the syllabus. You can read it yourself. I think it's pretty much boilerplate stuff. The main thing I want you to pay attention to is this little table at the bottom. And students are not always aware of this, although it is indicated in the assignments, but students don't always read the assignments or access the assignments in the way that I expect them to. So the thing to realize is that each week you have 3 graded assignments. You have an interactive overview. I'll describe these in a few minutes. This is a very short, simple assignment. Just ask you how you're feeling so far about the week. It's due Thursday by midnight, Phoenix time. These are according to the clock in Phoenix. All right. So figure out what the time difference is between your time zone and Phoenix time, and make sure you post your assignment by this time. So the interactive overview will be due on Thursday midnight. So let me open this calendar here. All right. So Thursday would be June 1st, before midnight. So 11:59 on June 1st, Phoenix time is when it's due. Okay. The same goes for the discussion response. There's a discussion topic, and you're supposed to post at least 3 messages. Your first message is the most important one. It's your response to the discussion topic, and it's due by Thursday, the same day, in this case, June 1st. And the whole point of that is that it is a discussion. So if your input isn't posted reasonably early in the week, then not really contributing to the discussion. So any posting after Thursday is penalized for lateness. So just be aware of that. It's not a huge penalty. It's a few percent each day, but I do penalize you for lateness. So be aware of that. And then the assessment, which is point-wise, your most important assignment is due by next Monday, or the Monday of each week, the last day of the week. Our week runs from Tuesday through Monday. So this will be due Monday, the 5th of June by 11:59. That's Phoenix time. Okay. So going back to our homepage here, we're in week 1, studying atoms in motion. The first thing you see here, and probably what you want to get out of the way, is to introduce yourself to the rest of the class. This is an optional assignment. It's not graded. It asks you to, or it suggests that you say a few things about yourself. You can say as much or as little as you want. You don't have to post anything if you don't want to. But sometimes it helps, other students to, sometimes students like to know if there's another student from their state or with their same major, and then maybe if you want to virtually meet outside of class or something, you can do that. One thing that's not listed here, which I really encourage you to tell me about, is your career aspirations. I mean, why are you taking this course at the University of Phoenix? Okay, it's kind of, to me, a very important question that I'm curious about. You don't have to tell me your favorite song or movie or food. I'm more interested in knowing why you're at the University of Phoenix and what you intend to do with your education. And any other thing, you might tell me that you travel a lot. So uh, you know, give me a heads up that some assignments might be a little late, and I can be more understanding then if I'm aware of your situation. Okay, interactive overview. I discussed that already, or I mentioned it. So you go here. Um, there's a button here to click. Now, if you don't see the button, it might be a browser conflict. Now, it's been a while since I tried it with other browsers, but several months ago or maybe a year ago, when I last really tried it with like Microsoft Edge, this button wouldn't show up. I'm using Chrome. Chrome is, from my understanding, the browser that's probably most compatible with Blackboard. So I do recommend Chrome. So if you're using a different browser, that's perfectly okay. But if you find something's not working right, like you don't see this button, it's probably your browser. So then I suggest using Chrome. So if you look at this, it asks you some questions about the week. So just look over those. You don't have to complete everything in the week by the time you post this, but just be familiar with what's due. It should give you a feeling, either uh, a nice feeling in your gut, or maybe you'll feel butterflies or something. And just tell me how you feel, and maybe a little bit about why you feel that way. I'm gonna just to illustrate this. I'm gonna say I'm very confident, as I should be, right? Because I'm the facilitator. I'm not being graded, so of course I feel confident. All right, you could save and close, but especially since this is such a short thing to answer, you just have to tell me how you feel. You're not graded on it. Just by posting it, you'll get full credit. But it also gives me information. You can give me a little feedback about what might be bothering you, and maybe I can address that one way or another in class. So make sure you submit it. If you save and close, I'm not going to be able to see it or give you credit for it until it's submitted. That's with also your assessment, which you'll see in a moment. So make sure you submit the assignment. And you can download a confirmation, and it will automatically email to you. Okay. All right. So we're done with that. For some reason, close that. So expand that. All right. Discussion and your a simulation assignment, your assessment. Well, these things relate to your reading. So you probably want to know where you're supposed to read your assignment, or where your reading assignment is. So go here. This is your reading assignment. This is your most important resource. So use it. Make sure you read it. I'm not asking you to read it in tremendous detail and memorize everything and take notes, but at least, go through it reasonably carefully and read through it. Most students like it. It's has a very conversational tone, but I've known of a few students who don't like it. They like a more standard textbook. This is not a standard textbook. This is uh, basically a transcription of lectures given by a world famous physicist, Nobel Prize winning physicist, Richard Feynman, who actually, has lived through and made many great scientific discoveries. So he conveys that excitement in the writing, but it was originally delivered as an entertaining lecture and then transcribed. So it's not a formal textbook, but there's a lot of good information here, and he draws a lot of interesting connections between things. So try to, it's not everyone's cup of tea, but try to, give it a shot. Try to see it from his angle. Okay, so read that, or at least skim it by Thursday if you can. Okay, you don't have to read every detail to get something out of it. All right, and then probably want to go here to the discussion again. It says the due date is the 6th. This might be confusing to you. See, I'm on Eastern time. So 2:59 a.m., the 6th, is Tuesday morning, very early Tuesday morning, just before 3 a.m. But that's on Eastern time, which corresponds to 11:59 Phoenix time. Okay. So understand that, but also says here in brackets, right, due Thursday. Let's take a look at that. So here's your discussion topic. It has several kind of questions for you to think about. Try to address all these points. You don't have to go in great detail, but give me at least 175 words touching on these things. You can go over, try not to go too much over because I do try to read it. And that should be posted by Thursday. Now, by Monday, preferably, and actually it's kind of required, but I don't think you're really penalized for it, is to post on a different day, at least one different day. So if you post this on Thursday, let's say, then Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, or Monday, post replies to at least two of your fellow classmates' responses. And you can consider me a classmate too. So I post a lot of messages. I reply to quite a few posts in each thread. So if I've replied to, let's say, your response and you feel compelled to reply to my reply, go right ahead. I'll count that as one of your two replies. And of course, you can reply to your fellow other students as well. Okay, so be aware of that. Okay. Then you have the assessment. Now, this is worth quite a few points usually. It varies by week. This first week is 120 points. I think next week it's 200 points. So these are important. And I've modified this to really list what it says in the rubric. You can open the rubric and see what's being asked for. This is what I base your grade on. So, and also you can, once you've been graded, you can expand these rubrics and see, what percentage I give you. And I'll also, if I have a comment, usually if I take away any points, I will explain why, or give you a hint as to why. So, please expand the rubric. I also give you a general comment, usually about how you did. But the more specific comments would be within the rubric itself. But try to follow all these steps, okay? Pay attention to these things. List your references. One of your references should be, you only really need one reference, and that is Feynman's book, because you're asked to discuss two specific ideas from the reading related to the observations, and that the reading is Feynman, okay? So if you don't cite Feynman, I will take away some points. Feynman is your main source. You can, by all means, go to Wikipedia or other sources out there, or if you have an old physics textbook, go ahead and use that. And you can cite that as well, but one of them should be Feynman. Okay, that's that. And let me just check real quick how much time I have here. Okay, I only have about a minute and a half, so I'm going to have to wrap it up. The last thing, and I just realized that, okay. This is actually a different class, a different 101 class, but you can see it here. I schedule a live meeting. I haven't scheduled it for us yet, for our class yet. But under learning activities, be on the lookout. There will be a link for a live meeting on Friday. So, it's optional. You don't have to attend, but I usually go through the simulation. I give a lot of helpful points that will help you on your essay, and I discuss the matter in general, the weekly topic. So if you can attend, that's great. If you can't, I will record it and provide a link to the recording. And that's all for now. I better finish before I get cut off, and I'll see you in class.